from the Mall of Asia Arena. The weekend ends with a bang. It's UAAP Season 76. ABS-CBN Sports proudly presents.
On the floor. The steal, Mariano, the slam! And
Teamwork.
Oh, what a move!
Instinct.
Revilla goes to his right. Revilla puts it up. No!
Confidence.
And gets the brush screen. Mark puts it down! On
Power. UAAP Season 76. Greatness never ends. Final Four.
Sudden death. Those are two words in sports that guarantees excitement, and we are on Sudden Death Saturday. Do or die, as the University of Santo Tomas seeks to become the first number 4 seed to win 2 in a row over a number 1 seed to reach the finals. It takes on National University, which also is seeking history, to make its first final appearance since 1970. They're looking for their first championship since 1956. This is their second Final Four meeting, and it's for all the marbles to get to the finals. Good day from the Mall of Asia Arena in Pasay City. We are live, and this is an exclusive coverage of ABS-CBN Sports. Boom Gonzalez together with Kirk Long. We welcome him back to the panel. And also we are flanked by Trisha Robredo and Cristel Batchelor. They represent National University and UST. They will give us the inside stuff on their team as we go along with our coverage. Thank you very much for watching us. Thank you very much for tuning into Studio 23 and of course in high definition on Balls HD channel 167. My partner has been in a long respite. We welcome back and we congratulate Kirk here for your wedding, your honeymoon, your beautiful bride, Christina. Congratulations. Welcome back. This is how we welcome you back, Kirk. Do or die Saturday.
Yeah, it doesn't get much more exciting for this knockout game. If any 4 seed can upset a number 1 seed, I believe Coach Pideaux would have some final tricks up his sleeve.
He knows how it takes, or what it takes to win 2 games to get to the finals. They did that as a number 3 seed, but never in the history a number 4 seed. Quickly, Kirk, you've been in a sudden death situation. What is the mindset just before we take a break?
Oh, just the mental mindset. From the morning, you know, it's just all day long, you know, it has a chance your season to, you know, could end today.
Correct.
And so you're just replaying in your mind every single thing, every little detail that you can help your team win. So these boys are going to come focused and ready to play on both teams.
I'm sure some of these players, just like you, couldn't sleep last night for this sudden death matchup. We'll break it down for you when we come back here on Studio 23.
UAAP Season 76. Greatness never ends. Final Four. UAAP Season 76. Greatness never ends. Final Four.
UST looking to go back to the finals. Something that they experienced last year against Ateneo. While National University hoping to get into the finals, not only will they exact revenge from their Final Four tormentors from last year, they also go back to the finals after almost 4 decades, more than 4 decades here in the UAAP. Let's talk about that last game, Kirk. You just got back to the Philippines when that game happened, National University versus UST. UST, a strong start in that first quarter. They were threatened at the end, but the Jericteng 3 in that fourth quarter just quelled that rally, and they had enough cushion because of that very strong start.
Yes, UST obviously would have liked to use their experience like they'll try to use here today.
Correct.
Being in the finals last year, having those players who have played in those intense moments. You have leaders like Jericteng to hit big shots. You have guys that know how to lock up and play defense in the Final Four, which you need. So, you know, their bench stepped up also for UST. They ran the fast break and they were able to get back on defense to stop NU, who led the league in fast break points. and they knocked down free throws. They just, played a really comfortable game, and they also led the league in rebounds. So 47 a game is right where what they averaged this season. So they did a lot of things well, and they just fit in well in that Final Four game.
National U, according to a lot of people, well, including themselves, when we talked to them after the game and yesterday during the preparation against UST, they felt like they were taken out of their game right off the bat, and they were not able to mentally adjust to that, to the physicality of the game. Is it really different when you get to Final Four, Kirk, in your experience?
Yeah, it sure is. I mean, the crowd gets into it more, and, just the players, especially with experience, and they know that they got to give it all out there on the court, because, this is the Final Four, is the last road to the finals, and then your season's done. So everything and every ounce of energy that these players can pour out, they're using it all up there on the court, so definitely.
All right, we'll talk about UST and NU and break down what happened in game number 1 after these.
UAAP Season 76. Greatness never ends. Final Four. UAAP Season 76. Greatness never ends. Final Four.
Balik po tayo dito sa Mall of Asia Arena in Pasay City para po sa huling laban dito sa Final Four para sa National University kontra UST. Sa lahat ng mga Pilipinong nanonood all over the world via the Filipino channel, we welcome you to our coverage. Let's talk about UST right now, Kirk. Obviously, they got the momentum with them with that big win. There were a lot of matchups to look out for. MB and Abdul is always entertaining, but you cannot avoid not talking about Parks and Ferrer, and the guy did it on both ends in game number 1. He contributed on offense and played defense against the two-time MVP. Not an easy gig for him.
No, definitely not. And since high school, we've known, Kevin was going to be a special player. He has, a professional type athletic body. He just has length, and he's a smart player too. He knows how to get in people's head. He always comes out and plays hard, and last game was a huge lift for them to knock down open shots from beyond the arc. And, just get NU's defense to spread out the way he did and to put up those numbers, 14 points and 5 rebounds, 44% three-point, which was a huge improvement from the regular season for him. He just really stepped up on a big day for UST.
Former juniors MVP in the UAP, if his head is in the game, because there are times that Coach Pido and him were very entertaining when they talk to each other at the sideline. When his head is in the game, he's going to be as vital as anybody in that UST team, correct?
Yes, most definitely, because he can block shots, he can get your fast break going, he can finish above the rim on the fast break, but also defensively, whether it's him getting his hands on a loose ball, whether it's him, stopping the best player on the other team. UST can really go as far as he goes in a lot of ways just because he can provide that big boost for them.
All right, well, he got into Ray Park's head. And that's not the first time it happened, and we want to find out what he says about what Ray Park said about how physical he placed him on defense. Our very own Cristel Batchelor sat with Kevin Ferrer right before the game, so let's listen to that interview.
Kevin, what can you say about Bobby Ray Park's comment about you being too physical during your last game?
Basketball kasi is a physical game. Lalo na ito, Final Four and or die game. Lahat gagawin namin para manalo.
So with that being said, will you still stick to the same game plan, just like what you did during the last game? Kung saan ikaw ang magbabantay kay Park?
Oo, mag-stick kami sa game plan namin. May onting adjustment na.
Do you think you can sustain the same level of game you had during the last game because you played so well on both ends of the floor?
So sustain ko, ayun lang kasi para manalo kami and we do our best para manalo. Tsaka makarating sa finals.
Okay, so good luck, Kevin. Back to you, Boom.
Not only is he looking to sustain, he's looking to build on what happened, maybe come up with a better game even today to get themselves into the finals quickly. Kirk, you battled against Kevin Ferrer. How physical is he, and how tough is he?
He's very tough. He's a very strong kid. He has big hands, long arms, and so he also just has a passion to play the game, and he has a never back down attitude.
Yes,
you can say that. So Even if you throw 1 or 2 punches, he's still going to come back, just giving you everything he has.
All right, we'll talk about the National University Bulldogs when we come back from this short break. This is the Final Four of the UAP Season 76.
UAAP Season 76. Greatness never ends. UAAP Season 76. Greatness never ends. Final Four.
Two teams chasing history today. The National U Bulldogs, 1970 was the last time they were in the finals. They're out on the floor. They're the first team out on the floor here for this last battle of the Final Four. One team will proceed. The unfortunate thing, Kirk, is the other team will end their season today. Let's talk about National U since they're the first ones out on the floor. They got shellacked in that game at first. Sabi nga ni TJ mentioned it the last game. Golpe de gulat is the Filipino term that we use around here, and that's what happened to them. There is a bright spot though. All year long, Jello Alulino has played well for them. Practically, he was the only one who really played so well for them. I know Ray Parks had 14 points, but that's below his average. The attempts are below the average. Embe is a concern with only 8 points. This is the guy who was trying to do everything for them.
Yeah, and even though they got, swamped right at first and they didn't have a good start to that game, just the fact that Jello would continue to lead his team, try to help them make a push back is big, because they can use that momentum that they sort of picked up and grounded on them in the second half to try to start this game a little bit different. So I expect Jello to come out firing, and those 3 assists, I would like to see him improve even on that, to try to get Embe and Parks, some of those guys involved early and get their confidence back up.
Especially, Kirk, because there is a perception that is one position also that they have the advantage, the point guard. The UST Growling Tigers all year long have struggled in that position, who to put, how long to play, this guy, that guy. Sheriff has now taken over in the last 3 games as the starting point guard of UST, but still you got to give the advantage to Jello on this one.
Yeah, most definitely. He has experience. He's been a leader of this team for several years now, and he has the guys on his roster to help him out. So I expect him to come out ready, but I also expect him to help everybody out and just keep this team focused and keep their confidence high. All
right, let's get back Trisha Robredo into this conversation. Trisha, I know that was a very painful loss the last time out against UST. Talking about that last Final Four matchup. Trisha, tell us, what were the lessons learned from that game? Their first time as a #1 seed since the Final Four format was instituted.
Well, Boom and Kirk, you know what? The loss against the Growling Tigers has taught the Bulldogs a very important lesson. More than it being just a physical ball game, the Final Four is both a psychological and a mental warfare. Aminado naman ang kupunan, nahirapan talaga silang kontrolin ang kanilang emosyon nung araw na yun. Kaya naman nadala sila sa pressure. Sabi nga nila sa akin na ang daming masamang decision at hindi nila na-execute ang kanilang play ng maayos. Now, the Bulldogs may have lost their identity in that game, but today they promised to get it all back. Yesterday in the players' meeting, graduating seniors like Robin, Ronnie, and Sean Embe have made it clear that they refuse to leave this league without topping what they have done last year. Guys, nag-Final Four na tayo. Ngayon naman, lumevel up na tayo. Moreover, Ray Parks and Mo Porter have emphasized on the fact that it's really now or never for them. Sabi nila, we worked so hard and we sacrificed so much that it would be such a shame to put it all away. They believe that they have gotten this twice-to-beat advantage for a reason, and now they plan to use it to continue to make history for National U. Lastly, Boom and Kirk, sabi nila sa akin na inaalay nila ang larong ito sa lahat ng sumusuporta sa kanila, sa lahat ng naniniwala sa kanila, at mas importante pa sa Panginoon. Sabi nila that if we remember this, we cannot fail and we will conquer this challenge. Boom and Kirk?
Thank you, Trisha. Just before we let you go, give us an update on Ray Parks. He had a bad fall that last game, and he's been dealing with wrist issues the whole year. What's the update on the 2-time MVP?
Well, Boom, Ray Parks has been injured with a condition called triangulofibrocartilage complex, which only says that he has sprained his left wrist. Coincidentally, this is also his shooting arm, but being the MVP that he is, he promises to get back into his game today and to try to get this win for National U. Boom.
Thank you very much, Trisha. I remember a conversation with Ray Parks not too long ago that there is already like a 2 centimeter split in his bone in his left wrist, and he's gutting it out. And he has to do more today. There's no question. He is a two-time MVP. He's the backbone of this team. No matter what you say, there's going to be a team effort, but it will all boil down to Ray Ray Parks and what he will do also, right, Kurt?
Yeah, Parks was here, first one that I saw shooting around in the gym today, and just, you know, he leads this team, you know, emotionally, mental toughness. He has to bring it from this get-go. His teammates need to see that he's not afraid of the physicality that UST might bring on him, that he wants to take that challenge, grasp it, and rise above it. So we'll see how he does with that.
All right, we'll talk about more matchups when we come back here on Studio 23.
UAAP Season 76. Greatness never ends. UAAP Season 76. Greatness never ends. Final Four.
Well, the Tigers are out on the floor. They're ready to roar. They're ready to go. Jarek Teng telling them to be mentally prepared for this game because we're going to have a big one. We're going to have a physical one. We're going to have a fierce one here. Sudden Death Saturday at the Mall of Asia Arena. Again, Boom Gonzalez together with Kurt Long for ABS-CBN Sports. The crowd getting ready and getting to fill up the Mall of Asia Arena. Why not talk about this matchup once again? Kevin Ferrer, Ray Ray Parks, featured Gatorade fuel duel of the game, because with Gatorade they are fueled for the win. Those are the averages. That will be the matchup all game long.
Yeah, there's just a lot of excitement comes into this game because of these two guys. They both can do it on both ends. They can finish at the rim. They can shoot it from beyond the arc. So I expect these two guys to come out firing and trying to lead their way. In one way, you got Parks, big offensive guy, but Kevin Ferrer trying to anchor this UST defense, which we've seen has done a great job so far in the Final Four.
Parks at 14 points in that last time out. 6 of 12 shooting. 50%, not that bad. But when you think about the average attempts, he averages almost 17 attempts. It gives you that picture that Kevin Ferrer really contained him and at least did not get him the ball as often as Ray Ray Parks would usually do.
Yes, and that's what Coach Pido will want, you know, Kevin to do again.
Deny.
Just deny. If he doesn't have the ball, he can't score. And when he does have the ball, just make him uncomfortable. Make him not get to his sweet spot, as we would call it. So he'll do his best to try that again, and we'll see what NU has planned new to try to get Parks in comfortable position.
We're slowly filling up here at the Mall of Asia Arena, but the most interested spectator, of course, is DLSU. They are already in the finals. They are waiting for their opponent. They're eagerly watching right now on Studio 23. And when Coach Juno Soler was asked, you know, about this matchup, about NU-UST, he said they're both tough, and we believe him. This season has been about parity, and you look at those, what has happened in the past between DLSU and UST and DLSU and NU, very evenly matched.
Yeah, I mean, they split games. Both teams know they can beat each other, and all these teams are just even excited to be here. The UAAP has been so competitive. These teams have worked extra hard. They've made the crucial adjustments. They've won the crucial games to get here, and now it's sort of anyone's ball game on any given day. You just got to be ready to come to play.
It's not going to be easy, regardless of whether National U or DLSU. LA Revilla knows it. It would be a good question to ask him whether he would want to go up against National U and Coach Eric Altamirano, but I'm sure the most important thing about LA Revilla and DLSU is that they're sitting pretty in the finals right now and waiting for an opponent. We'll take a break and then we'll get it going here at the Mall of Asia Arena. It is UST looking to win twice to upend the #1 seed, National University. This is for the second final seat of the UAAP Season 76.
UAAP Season 76. Greatness never ends. UAAP Season 76. Greatness never ends. Final Four.
Saturday knockout. This is a match to determine the opponent of the De La Salle Green Archers in the finals of your Season 76. This is the UAAP Final Four. Let's meet the starters first for the National University Bulldogs. At power forward number 5, Jeff Avillonar. Forward number 18, Dennis Villamor. At center number 14, Sean Emby. Point guard number 4, Cello Alolino. And the off guard number 15, Bobby Ray Parks. Head coach of the Bulldogs is Eric Altamirano. And now the starting five for the UST Growling Tigers. At forward number 7, Kevin Perez. Power forward number 10, Elton Mariano.
Well, we're ready to rumble here at the Mall of Asia Arena. Will the change of venue be any different for National University? Last year's hosts, this year's #1 seed, and right now, this is down to one game. The winner advances to the finals against DLSU. That happens on Wednesday. UST wants to go back to the finals. They were there last year. They were champions in 2006. Coach Pido Arecha was the man who piloted that team in his rookie year. It's time to start the fun here at the Mall of Asia Arena. Welcome back, Kurt.
It's good to be back. You don't see many smiles on these players' faces out there, and you know that's time for the Final Four.
Kurt, there's a lot that went on off-court also, conversations between Parks, between Horencio, the coach, between Kevin Ferrer. Among these guys, there were a lot of things that were said. Ray Parks does not appreciate the physicality of the defense of UST, while Coach Pido Arecha said it's the Final Four. Things really get a little more physical. His concern, Coach Pido is concerned, according to TJ Manotok, he got to interview them yesterday at practice, was that I hope what Ray Parks said in the media does not influence the referees in this game. And then he comes out and fires a shot also and says, well, they flop a lot. Talking about National U.
There's always going to be off-court tactics that different teams have. The nice thing is, none of it matters.
When the ball is tossed up, wala na yun, ano. All right, let's check in with Trisha Robredo for a Samson courtside update.
The mark of a great team is their ability to bounce back. Now let's show everyone that we can still be the champions that they tagged us to be. Coming to this game, Coach Lee gave the boys a very important reminder, and that is to guard their heart. Sabi niya nga, having been in this battle twice, I expect you to have gotten used to the pressure of the semifinals game. Sabi niya, alam niyo, pinapasok ninyo. Stand your ground, huwag manggigil, pero huwag din mapasindak. Coach Joey Guanya added it's important to keep what he calls a tunnel vision. He wants them to focus on the goal and consider everything else as distraction. The Bulldogs are expected to resist UST's antics, to stick to their own game plan, and to assert themselves on court at once. Persevere from the start, and all your efforts will pay off in the second half. This is the most important 40 minutes of our journey. Let's go all out and let's make our every move count. Back to you, Ruben Kurt.
Thank you very much, Trisha. Be superlative, Samson at Div. Book 9 Light. It's PC redefined. Very jittery start by both teams. Kurt, no score yet.
Yeah, this extra energy, I mean, knockout game, it's in their minds. It has to be. So it might take them a while to get comfortable, but in the end,
Angel Mariano is fouled hard by Villamor, graduating for National University. Well, Coach Eric Altamirano, and yesterday, again, our colleague, as we look at this McDonald's Instant Slow-Mo, spice up your day with the new McSpicy. No easy layups for sure in the Final Four. TJ again visited both coaches and both teams yesterday in practice, and he told me that Coach Eric Altamirano said that there's not really anything strategically that they're going to do different. It's just that they were really taken out of their game in the first quarter, especially. They were not able to mentally bounce back in that game.
Yeah. And you can see that. And you still a team looking for some identity when it comes to being in the Final Four.
Yes.
So they've learned a lot the last couple of years. Their program's changed tremendously, but they need to gain some confidence here in the Final Four.
Let's check it with Christelle Batchelor.
Boomins, Kirk, during my visit in the dugout before the game, I saw the Growling Tigers and the whole coaching staff spraying the rosary. An additional pre-game ritual they have along with the lighted candle and the cross they have in their makeshift altar. Nakita ko nga kung gaano lalong nanalig sa Panginoon ang pupunang ito para sa larong ito. Pero sabi nga ni Coach Pido Harencio, nasa Diyos ang awa, nasa tao ang gawa. Which is why he reminded the boys to stay their mindset in the last game, which goes like nothing to lose everything to gain. He also wants the boys to consider this not as an elimination game, but as a championship match. Lastly, Coach Pido wants the Tigers to be smart in playing. Ani nga niya, mas veterano ang kupunan natin, hindi dahil sa mga skill o talent, kundi dahil sa mga karanasan na nakapagpatibay sa Growling Tigers. Blumenker.
Maraming salamat, Christelle. Report brought to you by Samsung. Be superlative, Samsung Ativ, Book 9 Light. It's PC redefined. Let's look at a perfect combination. Pure Food Standard Juicy Chicken Cheese Hot Dog. That was called the long two for Jerick Tang. He's a two-war player of the game, brought to you by Rexona. It won't let you down. At one point, we all know, against this National University team, he went down. And then a couple of days after, he was diagnosed with a labrum tear in his shoulder. The MRI showed it. He went through PRP, and he's back at the right time. You know, Kirk, he got, what, 3 games under his belt prior to the final, or at least prior to this game. So physically and mentally, he's almost, I would say, at 100%.
Yeah, I would say so, and he looks like it. That first stroke was very smooth, stepped into it, a lot of confidence, and a nice shot by Jarrett.
Traveling infraction called on Karim Abdul. National U doesn't want what happened in that first game, where the first quarter was all UST. They got the crowd involved talking about UST, and again, when you're not experienced in a situation like that, last year's very different. They were the number 3 seed, Kirk, and it's a very different situation when you're number 1. You've been the number 1 seed in Ateneo, Kirk. How much pressure is it really on you when you get to that point where it's the Final Four?
Yeah, I think you have a mental boost over teams having that number 1 seed locked up, but at the same time that pressure's there because, you know, teams are trying to knock you off. They know they have to play the top of their game to beat you, so they're coming ready to play every time, and which means being a number 1 seed is you can't have any mental lapses either. You can't settle what's in the past is in the past.
Ajit Singh in attendance. Embe only had 8 points and he was taken out of his game in that first matchup last at the Araneta Coliseum. He's looking to bounce back today.
I liked what NU showed in that last possession. They had a lot of touches, a lot of ball movement from side to side, so if they could get comfortable setting up their offense, that would be good. But so far, we've seen both teams be willing to run the fast break, which UST had the advantage in the first game, but NU led the season in fast break points. So we'll see if they can get that back today in this game.
So for them to have, what was that, 5 points in the fast break category is obviously a very...
just 3 actually.
3 points.
So not typical for NU, but so far here, as we see, they're taking it all the way.
And getting to the free throw line early, too.
Good take by Villamore. He has a big, strong body. If there's a 2-on-2, try to take it to the rack early, see what you can get going for yourself.
So when you're not as experienced as NU, as you look at a McDonald's Sims of Slow-Mo, spice up your day with a new McSpicy. And that was the perceived advantage that UST had in that previous matchup. You come into the game after that, should you feel if you're NU, okay, we got our feet wet, we know how it is, we know how it feels, the crowd is like this, the physicality is like this, let's get them in the next game. Is that really the attitude? Is that how you should think?
Yeah, I think that, I would agree with that. That's what I've heard from coaches in the past, and, you know, they got that number 1 seed, and you get the number 1 seed, the reason you want it is to have the twice to beat. So they're taking use of that. You know, that's their advantage, and they have to be perfectly fine with where they're at. They deserve to be in this spot, They know that. They've executed well all season. They just have to keep believing in what their team's all about.
Like we said, prior to the start of the Final Four, as Abdul is able to muscle this in, the number 1 and number 2 teams will need that twice-to-beat advantage against FEU and UST. 5-4 is our score. Abante na ang UST dito. Pasok na si Dakiwan, pumasok na rin si Tata Bautista. Villamor from 15 feet, malakas. And Kevin Ferrer with those long arms, that wingspan of his, able to get that rebound over the taller Embe. Aljon is fouled by Villamor. Here's that setup to Karim Abdul for a Yakisobrang move brought to you by Nissin Yakisoba. Yakisobrang sarap. And then a Nike power rebound of the game. Play like it's still summer. 5-4, 6:01 to play in this do or die matchup. Join the break movement. Have a break. Have a Kit Kat. We're getting packed here at the Mall of Asia Arena as the UST Growling Tigers are engaged in a battle against the National U Bulldogs. 5-4 UST ahead. National U with no field goals yet so far, Kurt.
Yeah, just like we expected, that UST defense is clamping down, not giving you any easy thing. But it's the same way on the opposite side, just a defensive battle so far.
But they have converted on 4 of 6 free throws. That's why they're only down by 1. Here come the Bulldogs. They want to run. That's what Ray Parks told us in practice yesterday. TJ Manota reporting, saying that they want to defend and run.
Right now we have Tequila on Parks. I would almost look for that matchup when Ferrer's not on him, trying to get him some confidence, some momentum going, but unable to capitalize on that one, that possession.
Turnover, though, for UST. Ball goes back to National University at the 5:29 mark. Oh, it's an offensive foul called on Aljon Mariano. Barreling through. Ronyo is also in the game. He's also graduating. That's a foul of Ferrer.
Hard to hear the whistle with all this noise and drums.
Got hit in the face as Ray Parks made a drive earlier. And again, these are the things that he was complaining about. Let's look at this, Kurt. Right now, there's the arm.
Yeah, that's up above the face. It wasn't a fist or a hard hit, but anytime you're in the face, that doesn't feel good as a player.
He called the UST his own Detroit Pistons. That's what he said. As Embe unable to put it up and in on the offensive rebound.
Yeah, the question is this the Detroit Pistons before he has his guys on his team to overcome them or not? So we'll see if he can overcome them like MJ had to overcome his Pistons.
And you know, there's another thing that might dawn on some people right now. If National U loses, the question here is this the last time we're going to see Ray Parks in the UAAP?
Because he is graduating this year from school, academics-wise.
Correct. And he actually has the option to play, but will he?
Yeah.
That's another question.
Always a tempting thing. You never know. It could be depending on this game outcome right here. So
lineups on the floor brought to you by Hanes, America's leading underwear brand, and a foul by Karim Abdul on Embe. That is his second. That is big for UST, Kurt.
Yeah, especially this early in the first quarter. Not only for Embe to attack, but for the rest of the team to be able to drive in and know that, Abdul is going to have to take it easy. Which right now he'll be able to take it easy on the bench because they're going to bring in Paulo Pay.
Abdul only had 2 fouls in that previous matchup. And Embe missed another free throw.
And free throws sort of hurt NU in the first game, too. I believe they were 16 for 28, so not their normal percentage they shot this season. And, each point is so important when it comes to the Final Four. A lot of these games can be decided by just a couple possessions, so they're going to have to relax here on the line a little bit.
Look at Ronyo hounding Jarek Teng. Teng says, doesn't matter. Draws the foul, and he will go to the free throw line.
That's one thing Jarek Teng is very talented on. He knows how to sort of draw the defense, get him up in the air, and get to the free throw line very well. So good veteran move right there by Jarek Teng.
We're going to look at how physical this game will be, because National U, from our vantage point here close to the court, Kurt, looks like they have this face on that we're going to take and we're going to dish also. And that's what they said during the practices also. As you look at the brother Jaron Teng, who's waiting in the finals, waiting maybe for his brother, depending on the outcome of this game. So the crucial guys here are the referees, Jenard Garcia, Michael Galutera, and Dominic Kumar, the sisters in attendance also. We will track how chippy this game is going to be and how the referees are going to control what they're going to let go and what they're going to call.
Yeah, of course they want the players to determine the game, but at the same time you got to make sure there's basketball involved. It can't be too aggressive where teams can't utilize their skills.
Jeric Altamirano did not make a lot of adjustments, he said, during the practice. More on the mental side, the focus side. Parks hounding Takiwag. Takiwag nakatakas, sets up Aljon Mariano, another turnover. Ronyo is fouled by Tata Bautista. 4 turnovers for both teams so far.
And I love that. Rano gets the steal, but Parks, with the defensive intensity from the time that UST crosses half court, he can sort of help create that turnover as well. That's big.
Another graduating student for National University. Ronyo has been big this year for NU. Boy, they've been missing free throws.
And Ronyo was also that other guy in here in that gym shooting shots even a couple hours before the game. So
they were the first ones who came out for shoot around. Actually, National U was when the lights were still off. 2 misses.
So it doesn't pay off there, but we'll see if he can bounce back and get something else to fall for him later on.
National U has missed 6 free throws already, Kurt.
Yeah, that's not what Coach Eric wanted to see here in the opening quarter.
In the meantime, a short stab by Tata Bautista gives him a 5-point lead at the 3:40 mark. Iwag on Parks. Be on Embe. Embe looking at the referee, looking for some help. There's a lot of arm wrestling going on underneath. Embe gets it back. Kobuntin is there. Draws the foul.
Back to the free throw line we go.
And see, that was the kind of contact that got them frustrated in the previous game. As we look at this master winning move by Tata Bautista, lose the oil with the game, but master, put your game face on. And I guess the lesson learned from that previous game is, oh, so this is how it is in the Final Four. This is how it is. So, yeah, right. That's that.
You gotta adjust sometimes during the game, during the atmosphere. You can't get caught up in the moment. So we'll see if NU can sort of calm down here, because even though, that was still a set play, they sort of didn't make the most of mismatches there. They had Takiwag switched off of Parks, and they had Bautista on Parks. I'd sort of like to see them get the ball to Parks in that moment and let him make the most of that opportunity.
National U now 5 out of 12. Parks takes it away, and a foul is called. An offensive foul on Takiwag. That is his first. So another turnover for UST. They have the lead though, 9-5, as we look at this cool and clean steal brought to you by the new C2 Red Tea and C2 Iced Tea. Healthy syrup, great with meals.
Parks has stripped me like that before too, and it's enjoyable to see him work so hard on the defensive end, because he gets a lot of his praise because of his offensive ability.
He's a two-way player, no doubt.
Yeah, for sure.
Missed there by Kobuntin. Takiwag on the other end. Takiwag sidesteps. Takiwag puts it up. It is! The bang in the bucket.
That's a big-time play right there.
One of the quickest players when he has the ball. And Takiwag with a yellow cap big move. Celebrate great times with Yellow Cap Delivery Hotline 789-9999. Great times, great pizza. Good on Jarek Teng to find the running, and Takiwag giving them a 6-point lead and a free throw after we come back. Join the break movement. Have a break. Have a Kit Kat. We're back here at the Mall of Asia Arena. We're slowly filling up here at this venue at Pasay City, where one team will win and advance to the finals of UAP Season 76. The other will go home and end their season. Who will it be? We have 3 more quarters to go so far. First quarter has been a UST quarter. No field goals for National U so far.
Yeah, and that's going to hurt them. I mean, they would be able to survive without that, but when you're also shooting 5 for 12 from the free throw line, that's a double whammy. That's a no-no in playoff basketball. You can't get wins that way.
That's an excellent point. Alolino is called for the traveling infraction. Add to that, turnovers too. As we look at our Hanes Comfort team in action, Hanes, America's leading underwear brand, 12-5 is our score. Boom Gonzalez with 4-time UAP champion Kurt Long for ABS-CBN Sports in this UST-NU matchup. I said this the last time too, Kurt. When you're UST and NU, you've met, this is what, the 4th time you've met this year. There's a certain amount of dislike already at some point. There's not personally, but there's an annoyance already that it's you again, we're facing you again.
Yeah, it can be a little draining. It's hard to beat a team continually. Sort of just like a bad taste in the mouth that you can't get rid of. But, you know, that's the road to the finals. You got to get through people numerous times. So that's UAP as NU gets their first field goal.
Courtesy of Glenn Cobutin. Lead is 5. 2-minute mark. 8 minutes before they got their first field goal. Embe with a rebound. Embe, that is his 4th. Barks forcing and draws the foul.
A little bit of a grab from behind. A hard foul, but not too physical. Just a hard play.
There's a PS Bank Maasahan assist. Simple lang mag-ipon sa PS Bank. Open a savings account now. Boys of National University, after the foul, picking up Ray Parks right away.
And Ray asking for a different ball. He says there's some sweat on it, but he shrugs it off and knocks it down anyway, like a 2-time MVP should.
He comes in 2nd this year in the race. Barely, though.
And right now with UST's Kareem on the bench, the rebounding department should go a little bit more NU's way if they can take advantage of that. So far they're making it happen in a lot of different ways.
Oh, Paulo Pe chasing Embe right there.
And that's Paulo Pe. He'll always give you that hustle. He might not have the length and the athleticism that Embe had, but you like the hustle for Embe not to get a wide open layup and have to go to the free throw line for 2 free throws. That's a big difference right there.
Where he is struggling.
Yes.
So far. Substitution, by the way. Kent Lau is in the ball game for UST. Brought to you by Smart Music, where music lives. He is 2 out of 5 from the line.
Yeah, just got to keep taking deep breaths. I know he shoots hundreds of these free throws a week, probably in this gym even, but he's just having some trouble so far today.
And a foul in the backboard by Avelona. So Embe ends up 2 out of 6. A Lucky Me Supreme moment brought to you by Lucky Me Supreme. Live Supreme. And that is a poor foul.
Yeah, very poor foul. Coach Eric wouldn't want that. Minute to 30 left in the first quarter. You're in penalty, and you don't want to put Clark Bautista on the free throw line. He's a pure shooter.
Yeah, exactly. Him most especially. You don't want his stroke working today if you're National University. But Bautista had 12 points in that first matchup. Offensive rebound. Bautista for 3. Gets it to go. That's why.
You can't give an experienced team like UST extra opportunities. Those are so crucial. Especially, you know, Bautista. If he can get going, he can really hurt you. So you gotta, those are just little mistakes you can't afford to have if you're NU.
Embe travels. And I think Paulo's getting into his head too. Great Taste White, great 3 here. Our coffee is white, Great Taste White. Letroy Rosario comes in. for Embe.
Yeah, we sort of have a second unit here for NU, and they can't afford to give up any more of a lead to this UST team. It's just a hard team to fight back from.
It's a ball away from play, and it is Ray Parks called for that one. There's a lot of swinging, hand checking, and grabbing going on. And I'm not talking about this particular play, but all throughout.
Yeah, it's good to see Lau try to be aggressive, make Parks work on the defensive end, and Park has to just keep his cool.
Yep.
Things haven't gone their way yet today, but this game's still in its early stages. You just got to figure out those little cobwebs and get around them.
This is the biggest lead of the game for UST. National U shooting 1 of 11 from the field. UST with 5 out of 11. And Lau, these are bonus points now on the bench for Coach Pino Arencio. Again, every foul, free throws. This time, it is Cobutin call. And this is what they're talking about. Coach Eric Altamirano talking about how they cannot get rattled out of frustration.
Yeah, just all about composure in the Final Four so many times in these big moments. You know, you've learned, you know who you are as a team throughout the season, and MU finishes first place, but you're gonna get pushed to the limit again in the Final Four. It's not gonna be the same. As we see another foul and 2 more free throws now for UST.
That again is Javelona. So more bonus points.
Now he doesn't like the call. We've seen so much physical play, and that is not necessarily a physical foul right there.
I see where you're going, Kirk.
But you have to be careful with your hands. So you can be frustrated, but you got to learn from it and get over it. You can't sulk on that possession. You just got to learn how are the officials calling it, and you got to change a little bit.
Christian Loanson, former UST player, witnessing this right now as UST builds an 11-point lead off free throws at that. 8 points for Bautista off the bench. UST is shooting 8 of 11 from the free throw line. National U 6 of 16.
Yeah, those bench points last game helped UST win the ball game, and they've proven to be big so far here today as well.
Parks is bumped. Bodying up, looking at Parks. There's a lot of posturing going on in this game. Nicky Valdez on your screens, cheering for UST.
But that's Coach Pado's smart defense right there. If Parks is going to get fouled, you foul him where he can't get off a shot as well. Because Parks is a strong body, he has a lot of N1. But if you're going to foul him to where he has to go to the free throw line and earn both points.
Nine-point lead with 15.4.
Last thing NU needs is another foul.
Correct.
UST just wants to take care of the basketball, get off the last shot of the quarter. They got a comfortable 9-point lead.
Biggest lead was at 11 at 19-8. 5 seconds on the game clock. Bautista called for the offensive foul this time. Javelona stayed with him laterally. Second personal on Ilongo. Parks, the heave from half court. And a frustrating first quarter, to say the least, for National University from a field goal standpoint. Jollibee champ of the quarter is a guy coming off the bench. Big burger goodness like no other. Tata Bautista got his points from beyond the arc, from the free throw line. And we will be back with second quarter action here in this sudden death matchup. Babalik po ang UAP Season 76 Final Four coverage ng ABS-CBN Sports dito po sa Studio 23. What about that quarter for National U? 1 out of 12 from the field and 8 out of 18. They already missed 10 free throws. They made half of that. This would have been a closer ball game.
Yeah, not the start you wanted if you're Coach Aaron. but you just got to tell your boys to hang in there somehow. Because get extra points on offensive rebounds, get extra points off turnovers, make something happen other than just your normal offense.
Because the good news is that was just the first quarter.
That was just the first quarter. So shots can fall, that momentum can change, but what you can bring every time is your defensive toughness.
That's a good play by Ray Parks to start off their second quarter campaign.
Great play. You had some ball movement. You had Ray not just dribbling to get open himself, but a nice curl off the screen, gets him open, and gets him to the basket where he's so good finishing at the rim.
Let's check in with Trisha Robredo now.
Blumenkerk, as always, Coachy asks his boys to dictate this game through defense. First, he wants the boys to force the Tigers into playing half court. They have suffered from UST's transition baskets in the last game, and Coach E wants them taken away this time around. Secondly, he emphasizes on the importance of finding safety. Sabi niya nga, kahit anong mangyari sa offense natin, sprint back to the paint. Preventing them from scoring is just as important as making shots, kaya habaan nyo lang ang pasensya ninyo. Lastly, Coach E asks the boys to be more careful of movement. No more fouls in the second quarter. Kaya pa natin to, boys, kaya bumawi tayo. Back to you, Blumenkerk.
Thank you very much, Trisha. The superlative Samsung Atib, Book 9 Light, it's PC redefined. Parks against Lau. Parks gets away.
And that's nice to see Parks take advantage of a different matchup.
Yellow Cab, big move. Celebrate great times with Yellow Cab. Delivery hotline, 789-9999. Great times, great pizza. Seems to have a different approach to the game today as we look at this yakisoba move by Jerick Teng. This is yakisoba sarap.
We've seen a lot of switching by UST off of ball screens, so we'll see if NU will try to utilize that.
Dribble penetration by Jeff Pavillonar to get them their second field goal in the first minute and 30 of this quarter.
Yeah.
Where it took them almost 8 minutes to get their first field goal in the first quarter.
Yeah, so that's a good improvement. To have 2 field goals instead of 1 in the quarters is what NU needs, as they'll try to continue to build on that.
Parks with a soft pass, fielded by Pavillonar. Ronyo. That stays with National U at the 8:07 mark. John Sheriff and Mo Porter come back into the game. Master winning move here by Pavillonar. Lose the oil, win the game with Master. Put your game face on. Abdul playing with 2 personals in for Kent Lau as we check in with Christelle Batchelor.
Blumenkerk gives a quick update on Jerick Teng's right shoulder. He was felt a bit numb earlier, but his physical therapist was prompt to tell me that everything is okay and it won't matter with his performance for today. Now, as for the team, Coach Pedro Harrison said it's all about who wants to win more. He said he does not want to see all the efforts of the Tigers to backfire on them because they did not reach this far if there is no reason. Nagpanga ni Coach, dapat daw isaulo ng Tigers ang mindset na ito. Magtatrabaho kami, di kami mapapagod, may tiwala ako sa mga kasamahan ko at ipipressure ko ang kalaban dahil gusto kong manalo at umabot sa championship. Meanwhile, Coach reiterated to the boys that the Bulldogs are part of a rebounding team which allowed them to have second chance points. So the Tigers must counter it by boxing out and making the most out of every ball possession. Blumenkerk.
Maraming salamat, Christelle. The superlative Samsung Atib, Book 9 Light, it's PC redefined. Let's look at this offensive foul by Aljan Amariano. Spice up your day with a new McSpicy McDonald's instant slow-mo.
Yeah, he was asking Sheriff just to wait a little bit till he gets set on that screen, but back-to-back offensive fouls for these 2 teams.
Porter. Sorry, Kirk. You were saying.
They're just still trying to feel comfortable. And you had a couple good possessions, but they just need to string in a couple possessions more in a row where they really get feeling comfortable.
Tang wants to post up Porter. Double team. Tries to get away from it. The tap. And it goes to National University.
One thing that hasn't slowed down this second quarter is that intensity on defense. Both teams just being very scrappy, trying to get everything they can get.
Melonas played heavy minutes for Jello Alolino for Coach Eric Altamirano. 7:20 to play. 21-14 is our score. Parks. Avelona. Corner pocket 3. Tang.
And Porter with another reach in. And just a ticky-tack foul, but you got to stay away from those.
Let's look at that play again on our McDonald's instant slow. They got hit in the face.
Oh, so it wasn't Porter.
It was on Rosario, officially.
Right.
McDonald's instant slow-mo spice every day with the new spicy. That hit on the face was the one that was called.
We'll see what kind of pressure Porter can get. Sheriff gives it up, and UST now getting into their offense.
Kim Lo. So 2-point guard setup for Coach Pido Arecho right now. Mariano and Ferrer in this game, and a foul called on Embe. 27 fouls called in 13 minutes of action. Well, I did say the referees are going to have to control this because of all the talk prior to the game and how physical this might be. But I did not expect 27 fouls called. Not to say it was wrong. I'm just saying, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot, and it's forcing these coaches to go deeper into their bench, as we've seen a lot of bench players play extensive minutes.
Mariano able to get it up and in from 14 feet. Back to a 9-point lead with 6:40 to play here in the first half. Weave for National U. Great spin by Lolino. Great denial by UST though. Montal Nepes. Inagawa naman. Lolino. Alejandro overshoots, maybe not the shot that they want, but they'll get the ball back here with 16 on the shot clock. Fubu fearless shot. Fubu for us by us, Fubu International. Bostik Tapal King of the game ng mga ating tignan, brought to you by Bostik Super Bull Casio. Things have kind of settled down here in the second quarter, Kurt.
Yeah, just a little bit though. NU has to be careful. They're MVP on the bench. They can't afford this lead to balloon into double digits. Lolino trying to set up Embe.
They want to get the foul there. That's how
it is.
They want to get the foul from Abdul, and that he popped out. He showed Coach Pido Arecho is mad at Abdul right now for the gamble of showing. Let's look at that. And Lolino does the smart thing. He will go at him. It's not clear from that angle, but it happened right in front of us, Kurt.
Yeah, and Coach Pido's livid about that. He rushed over to the scores table to make sure he could get a substitution in for his starting center, who now has 3 fouls.
But that's also the gamble that you put when you put back your player in the first half with 2 fouls. A starting center. Tumatakbo UST. Sheriff to Mariano. Mariano. A look away. Does not work that time. 5:53, join the break movement, have a break, have a Kit Kat. It's still a 9-point lead for UST. What a crowd today, Kirk, here at the Mall of Asia Arena. We expected it by mid-second quarter to be packed to the rafters, and, well, as predicted. You know how it feels. Kirk Long has a very interesting story for me, which I found out, what was this, last year, I think, when you told me. His first time in the UAP was the finals of UST and Ateneo in 2006. And you were up there at the cheap seats, as they call it, and you experienced that Go Usted chant, that chant for the very first time.
Yeah, it was roaring just how it's roaring today, and it's a special chant. It's a lot of the UAP players' favorites, no matter what team they're on.
Yeah.
After their own school, of course. So
it's pretty catchy, isn't it?
It's catchy.
and there's nothing like watching from the cheap seats too. Kurt.
Oh no,
it's a different thrill.
Yeah, it's an atmosphere. You're up there with some of the most diehard fans.
Yes.
And the ones you can hear, and the ones I heard for 5 years and playing the UAP, and it was a lot of fun. And someday again I'll have to join them. But for now, I'm happy down here.
In the meantime, Embe travels. That's a good adjustment by Paulo Pen just to delay the movement of Embe. But not only did he delay, he forced a turnover.
Yeah, Embe is still struggling to find his rhythm here, whether it's from the free throw line or in the paint. That's a play that you would normally like to see him finish.
9 turnovers, by the way, for UST. 5-minute mark, that's what we're coming up to. 23-14, a low-scoring game by 2 great defensive teams here in the league, UST and NU, Kurt.
Yeah, they did lead the league, and we can see just why they're the best defensive teams in the league. They treat each possession with the ball so importantly, and when it's loose, they go after it.
Another turnover this time. Substitution brought to you by Smart Music, where music lives. Ray Parks is back in the game.
And you sure would like to find some rhythm, some confidence before they go into the locker room for halftime. But so far, they just don't have a lot to look at and build on with only 14 points and 16 minutes of play.
Jarek Teng, whose dream is to go to the finals and face his brother, because he says no matter what happens, Teng will be crowned as a champion. That's why he wants one of them or both of them to be in the finals.
I'm sure his parents would agree. They'd love to see a trophy come home to that family.
Oh, what a move by Parks to split. There's a little more composure in the aura of Ray Parks here. Is not being frustrated as he was in the first game.
Yeah, he's still just trying to find his rhythm in this game, trying to find his place.
But this is a good ploy for him, though, to try to get to the free throw line a lot.
Yeah, he's one of the most successful guys in the league in the last however many years I've been around the UAP at getting to that free throw line. And it's good for NU when he can capitalize and knock them down, too.
4 out of 6 from the free throw line. There's a foul. And it will be on Carl Napes, pulling down Growling Tiger.
And you just can't catch a break, really.
Right now, yeah.
Whether it's on offense or defense, ticky-tack fouls. That time looked like an offensive putback by Mbe, but now on the other end, Kevin Ferrer's going to get a chance to get himself going.
So what you're saying is they're also are having a tough time getting into any kind of offensive rhythm.
Yeah, whether it's UST's defense or just their own just bad luck in a way. So far today, they've missed layup opportunities down low, offensive rebound opportunities. It's just not been going their way.
Ferrer, 2 out of 2. Those are his first 2 points. I like the ploy of Coach Pido Arecho. All the attention about the matchup of Parks and Ferrer, and then he pulls away Ferrer away from Parks, maybe to surprise Ray Parks and NU a bit here.
Yeah, I believe so. Just showing Ray Parks different guys, different types of athletes. One quicker, one stronger. Then you go back to Ferrer later, maybe.
And another point there also. Remember, I told you, Coach Pido in that interview with DJ Manotoc said his fear was the referees might take it out on this player, maybe call some fouls. So, and he knows that Ferrer has a tendency to get more fouls because of his physical play, so maybe he takes him away every now and then.
Yeah, and with that attention, the referees will have a sharper eye when Ferrer's on him and catch every little thing. But now he's off of Parks, and so he can play more natural, be himself, and not be worried that that extra attention is there.
So we've seen Kent Lau, Kim Lo, Ed Dakiwag, Kevin Ferrer on Ray Parks so far.
And it's a smart strategy, but I still would agree that once NU make the push or this game gets closer or in the final minute, I'm sure Ferrer will be back on him.
Right now it's an 11-point lead. That matches the biggest lead earlier. 15 points only for National U. Alolino spins. That's a good-looking shot.
1 second left on the shot clock. That's a big shot.
Big shot.
Never say die attitude for Alolino.
Teng quickly pulls up for 3. Had a chance. Paulo Lopez working hard for the offensive rebound. Stripped by Parks, who is tripped by Paulo Lopez inadvertently. And that will be
free throws.
Free throws. 4th personal on Paulo Lopez. Now you've got Abdul with 3, Paulo Lopez with 4. Let's look at this Oishi oh-wow moment of the game. Open up to everyday surprises. And then a McDonald's instant slow-mo. Spice up your day with the new McSpicy.
Paulo Lopez trying to do the right thing. He realized he was amongst the trees in there trying to get that offensive rebound back out so they could set up a new play, but
he dribbled in front of Ray Parks.
Yeah, which is a big no-no.
Parks making his living from the free throw line right now with 8 points.
Yeah, 6 free throws, just 1 field goal for him, nothing from the perimeter.
They're surviving on free throws. This is what is keeping their heads above water, talking about National U.
National U still has to have a lot of confidence because in the 2 matchups during the regular season, they were able to beat UST, so they just have to get back to that form, that level of play.
That's a great point. They beat UST first and second round. Good defense by Ronyo. Mariano pulls the trigger. Parks again with another rebound. That is his 4th.
Oh, it looked like he was tripped to me. No call. Tang with the other way.
Oh!
And Tang gets the call, and he roars like a lion to his crowd.
What a crazy circus shot by the King Tiger, Jarek Tang. And it is a Suzuki fast break of the game. Brought to you by Suzuki's newest compact sedan, Swift Desire. Suzuki, a way of life. 28-19. Jarek Tang, Newmore player of the game, brought to you by Rexona. It won't let you down. The crowd here at the Mall of Asia Arena is roaring. Join the break movement. Have a break. Have a Kit Kat. The Naranjo family joining us here at the Mall of Asia Arena. RCBC Savings Bank, life-changing moment. RCBC Savings Bank's My Loans, it's life-changing. Jarek Tang will try to complete a 3-point play opportunity here off a circus shot, off a turnover from Ray Parks. Tang completes it. And it's back to 10. 2:56 to play in the first half. And all this without Karim Abdul, who, by the way, for those of you just tuned in, on the bench with 3 fouls already. Only played 8 minutes and only has 2 points. Parks hasn't taken a 3 in this game, which is a good sign. Ronyo, short, rebound to Tang. 3 on 2, nobody from NU coming back. Tang pulls up for 3, that's short. Dakiwag blocked.
Wild shot to pull up on a 3.
Oh, another block by Parks. A second consecutive block on the second jump.
I love the effort. Maybe the last play before the timeout, he didn't get the call he wanted, but he's still coming out here and fighting for his team.
What an effort for both teams here right now.
And UST looks like they're in a little zone, trying to make NU hit an outside shot, which they haven't done successfully today.
Alalino will try. Gets it to go.
And I believe that's their first 3-pointer of the game, which that could ignite a NU offense. So big shot by Alalino.
Big shot. 29-22. They are 1 out of 9.
Parks on the ground. And it looks like he got the steal, and a foul will be called on UST.
Before that shot, this Great Taste White, Grade 3, our coffee is white, Great Taste White. NU is shooting 18% from the field here in the first half. 1 out of 9 from beyond the arc after that shot.
Yeah, but now they're going to the free throw line to make it just a 5-point game if you can knock both these down. So even though you have that bad percentage, you still have to be somewhat happy for the effort that they've showed defensively to keep them in it.
This is going to be his 11th and 12th trip from the line. He is 8 out of 11 as we speak. The lead is down to 6. The highest was 11 for UST.
And just what great heads-up basketball. One possession, Parks gets a couple blocks. Great energy. The next possession, he forces a steal, gets on the ground.
Alalino forces the turnover.
Just huge energy from NU right now as they're trying to surge back into this ball game before they head into halftime. They've been the #1 defensive team all year, and this is why. Because of plays like this. This helps teams win basketball games, and this could help them get to the finals for the first time in how many years, you said?
Since 1970. Well, 15 turnovers, Kirk, for UST already. They average 14.9 coming into this game. Alalino, another 3. Gets it to go.
Boom, and he hustles back on defense, and he's sort of waking up this NU crowd as they're all on their feet. And you see the other side, they're just a little bit stunned that this is still a 2-point ball game.
Mariano, tough shot. Eme with a rebound. A minute to play in the first half. Alalino thought about it. Embe underneath, and we are tied for the second time in the ball game.
And the Bulldogs are awake here in the Mall of Asia Arena. They might not have come to play the first quarter, but they got things rolling now.
Ferrer. No, it is a 10-0 run, Kirk. We were at 29-19 earlier. Down to 30 seconds in the first half.
Yeah, you scored 19 points in about 18 minutes, and then just 2 minutes, all of a sudden you scored 10 points, and just that's the beauty of basketball.
Embe, they take the lead.
The momentum has switched, and what looked like NU was going to head into the locker room during halftime with, what are we going to do? Now they're just saying, we just got to keep doing what we did the last 2 minutes of the half.
There's a foul away from play, though. And it will be on Embe. That is his third personal. So Abdul and Embe both 3 fouls. How about this kid? 18% from the three-point area on the average. He knocks down the Great Taste White Grade 3. Our coffee is white, Great Taste White. And then finds Embe underneath for a perfect combination. Pure Food Standard Juicy Chicken Cheese Hot Dog. That is why we talked about him at the top of the coverage curve.
Yeah, and he had great numbers last game. He was key to the comeback somewhat in the second half, but he also has to get other people involved, and that's what can make this NU team so much more dangerous, because they have several options, several weapons. They just got to get in the right place at the right time.
And 2 misses from the free throw line by Mariano. Ferrer, no! He will have a chance to tie or break, or at least get them closer here and break this 12-0 run that came out of nowhere, Kirk.
Yeah, really out of nowhere. I mean, this NU crowd, they were just sitting down the first 15 minutes.
Which is outnumbered to begin with.
Yeah.
We are looking at, I would say, a 65-35 count here for UST in terms of the crowd.
Good estimate. But, man, about a minute ago when they were making that run, they sounded just as loud as UST ever did. It was impressive.
That's our third tie of the ball game at 31, 4.3 seconds left. So that breaks the drought for UST. Sparks has time to shoot. Blocked by Ferrer from behind. Oh, almost for Villamor. Nevertheless, it is a 12-2 run for National University. And boy, you cannot ask anything better than this. No quarters given, none taken. 31 all. And our Jollibee champ of the quarter, Joshua Jello Alolino. Big burger goodness like no other. Not only the threes, it's the assists, it's the composure, it's the leadership that he's showing. The UST now will have to talk it over, and we will buckle up for a great second half. Nagbabalik po tayo dito sa Mall of Asia Arena, and we're looking at the National University Group Stunts champion. They were the champions in the cheer dance competition. They're also the champion for the group stunts, and Kirk Long is still trying to recover from what he just witnessed at halftime here.
Hurting my back just looking.
You got totally stretched out just by watching that. Kit Kat, break time analysis, join the break movement. Have a break, have a Kit Kat. Well, let's get back to basketball here. National U, what a struggle in the first quarter. They shot 8%, 1 out of 12 in the first quarter. Then all of a sudden they turned it up at 44%. It is UST that went from 46 to 21. Hence, this is our halftime summary.
Yeah, we have a lot of similarities from last game with the bench points for UST still going their way. But what allowed NU to stay in this game, even though their shooting field goal percentage was so poor, was UST's turnovers really hurt them, which Coach Boudreau was really frustrated with. And so we see that comeback in the last 2 minutes of the half by NU, just created off of turnover points and just getting out on fast breaks. And finally, NU hitting a perimeter shot with Alolino's 2 threes on the wing was huge to give them a momentum boost.
A lot of fouls called in the first half. A lot of free throws awarded. 28 free throws. 24 free throws for National U. 20 for UST, and NU converting on 13. UST a higher percentage at 14. Parks leads the parade, mostly from free throw shooting. Tang with 9. Bautista off the bench with 8. A great first quarter for him. No Abdul, for those who just tuned in, that's because saddled with 3 personal fouls. How big is that, Kurt?
Yeah, that's big. It allowed NU to control the rebounds and sort of push the ball. And it just, you know, Abdul on the offensive boards and just, you know, high-low, him being out took away a lot of UST's offensive ability, which is why they only scored 31 points also. So with him back in there, it's easier for Jarek, other guys to get open outside shots.
Gatorade fuel duel of the game. Let's give you an update, because with Gatorade, they're fueled for the win. And as we mentioned, Ray Parks with 11 points, and Parks has shot 12 free throws already. 9 of his 11 points came from that area. We have not seen a lot of the matchup between Ferrer and Parks. Some sort of a misdirection by Coach Pido Arencio, but at some point we do expect them to guard each other again. In the meantime, we are looking at Shelda Endoso. I hope I'm saying her name right. From UST, wearing a Silverworks bracelet, our courtside charmer of the day. Silverworks live to play. So we're squared up at 31 all. Gear up for greatness this season as the much-awaited 4th issue of the UAP magazine highlights the most successful athletes in UAP history, featuring Michelle Gumabaw on your screens on the cover, and Kiefer Ravenna. Brought to you by ABS-CBN Publishing Incorporated in partnership with UAP and ABS-CBN Sports. The UAP magazine is the official magazine of the UAP. Out in newsstands and bookstores now. Check it out. www.facebook.com/UAP magazine for more details and updates. We're also greeting everybody watching us on live streaming right now at UAPsports.tv. Did you know UST center Paulo Pe played for the Blue Eaglets in the juniors division? I'm sure some of you do know that. Some of you don't. Live Supreme Trivia brought to you by Lucky Me Supreme. UST looking to go back to the finals. National U 1970 was the last time. They've never been a #1 seed in the Final Four format since the Final Four format was instituted back in 1994. This is the first time, and they want to go into the finals against the waiting DLSU. The loser ends their season 76 campaign. Kit Kat best break. Join the break movement. Have a break. Have a Kit Kat. NU tying the game at 31 on the strength of a 12-2 run towards the end of that first half. And I saw the face of Coach Pido Arencio. He looked baffled.
Yeah,
what happened.
He didn't really know what hit him, but it happened right in front of their bench. Back-to-back threes by Alalino. Really spread out the offense.
That's big.
And then the next time he's able to penetrate by him because they have to respect the shot, and he finds Mbe for a layup. And so it's fun to see that little spurt happen for this NU offense who was deeply looking for an answer.
DLSU waiting in the finals, which will start on Wednesday at the Araneta Coliseum. 1 p.m. DLSU and NU for the ladies division, I believe, are going to play. They played earlier today, and if I'm not mistaken, DLSU winning that one big against National University, the #1 seed.
Yeah.
So NU doesn't want a double black eye today.
No,
here at what they call their home, the Mall of Asia Arena.
No, they don't. They get to practice in this arena, and they're sort of almost a home court advantage with that, and they would not want to lose twice in one day. That would hurt their next week of practice for either team. Actually, well, the boys would go home, but the girls, it would be a sad day on campus tomorrow at practice.
Well, if you're here at the Mall of Asia Arena right now, you wouldn't be able to say this is the home of the National U Bulldogs. A lot of guys in white here, or yellow here rather. The UST Tigers have come out in full force. Just imagine if they go to the finals. As I've said, Kirk has experienced that finals crowd firsthand as a spectator.
as a spectator and as a player. So it's fun. This UST crowd knows how to get behind its players, and they're ready to roar again as they want their UST team to make a nice push here to start off the second half.
National U wants to rewrite their own history, and they've got the second half to do that. Tied at 31 with Alolino, Javillonar, Embe, Villamor, and Parks. That is the first, that's the same starting five for National U. Embe and Abdul are on even terms now with 3 personal fouls.
Yeah, it'd be interesting what kind of tactics both coaches might try to have to try to get the other team's best center out of the way.
Sheriff, Ferrer, Mariano, Jeric, Teng, and Abdul. Same starting fives for both teams. Ferrer with a tough fadeaway jumper. That is short.
Good defense, nice challenge there for NU, as these defensive teams will try to keep what they've done on defense and add to it on offense.
Alolino to Ray Ray against Ferrer. Finding Villamor underneath. He steps on the baseline. A turnover to start off for National U. Sheriff getting the pick from Mariano. Mariano against Parks. Has the ball taken away. Alolino. Oh, nice anticipation by Sheriff.
Yeah, nice read. Not what you want, a one-handed pass.
Deng from 15.
Yeah, one-handed pass, give it away. Turnovers on one end, lead to 2 points on the other. So, NU with a good chance there, almost a 3-on-1 fast break, but nice hands by Sheriff to knock it out of the way.
What a sweet move. The crossover and the step through by Ray Ray Parks to tie it all at 33.
And that's nice for him, because that's just his second field goal of the day. As we said, he has 9 free throws, so that's just his second layup.
But I like the fact that he's not shooting too many threes. He hasn't shot a 3 here, as Abdul forces the situation. Comes up short. Great shot by Teng. Answer by Parks. Parks goes up again. 4 straight points for him, and they get the lead.
Back-to-back buckets by your MVP. You gotta like that for NU's momentum.
Check that. He did have a couple of attempts from 3. Remember that half-court heave was also a 3.
Yeah, to end both half quarters, I think.
Nice move by Abdul. He muscles and powers his way through Embe to tie it at 35 now. 5 lead changes, 5 deadlocks.
And that's what UST missed for a lot of the first half. That's just a strong move. Embe tries to answer, but that's a no-go as he
commits a turnover. Let's go to a perfect combination. Throughput tender, juicy, chicken cheese hot dog. Sabi nga natin sa Tagalog, ilista mo na. Jeric Teng from 15. Embe with 4 turnovers. As you look at Parks this time with the Yakisobrang move brought to you by Nissin Yakisoba. Yakisobrang sarap. Puntaan muna natin si Trisha Robredo.
Blumenberg coach recommended the boys for their good comeback, but he reminds them that they entered the second half back to 0. He points out that they owe their redemption to rebounds and defense, and he wants them to stick with it for the second half. For offense, Coach E wants to see more ball movement and speed. He reminds the boys of the essence of being unpredictable and of attacking before USC's defense is off. In the dugout, he also reminded players like Shaw and Embe to be more careful of fouls because they can no longer allow USC to score on free throws. Lastly, Coach E asks the boys to continue to encourage each other. Sabi niya nga, tayo-tayo lang naman ang magkakakampan rito. Shut the chance in the crowd by sticking together and playing as one. Back to you, Blumenberg.
Maraming salamat, Trisha. Deep superlative, Samsung Atim, Book 9 line, it's PC redefined. Big development here for Abdul. Commits his 4th personal foul on John Embe for positioning. And the guy who replaces him also has 4 personal fouls in Paulo Pe.
Yeah, it's big, but if you're Embe, you want to take advantage of that last offensive rebound. You got to put that back in.
Here's a Master winning move. Lose the oil, win the game with Master. Put your game face on. Javillonar, too close for comfort.
Lots of little touchy, gritty stuff.
Even with Pe and Embe underneath earlier.
Yeah, Pe might lack a little bit of size against Embe, but bulk-wise, not much.
A 3 breaking the tie. 7 points for Kevin Kadev. Top of the circle. And he sends that baby home. Chant of defense from UST.
At the end there, off the glass, as Paulo Pay sort of said, come on, shoot it, shoot it. And that's nice when you can go to that bank, use the glass, and put it in.
Mariano pops out. Mariano spins, avoids the turnover. Short staff. And Embe controlling the boards. Advanced pass to Jello Alolino.
Alolino calls the play.
Crossover. Alolino up top to Embe. Good intention, but it was too high. Perev. Embe chasing. Perev goes all the way. Is fouled. Let's see who the foul will be called on. As Javier Leonard tried to take the charge. Stares at Pereira as they go to the bench. Join the break movement. Have a break, have a Kit Kat. It's a 1-point lead for UST. We're back here at the Mall of Asia Arena where we are at 38-37. And Jeffrey Avillionar was called for a warning for flopping during the timeout.
Yeah, part of every basketball game, I guess. There's somewhat of an art to it, and I guess Avillionar will have to work on it a little bit more, because maybe flopped with not enough contact there to make it actually look like a worthy of flopping move.
I mean, watching it live, there's so much you don't see on TV. And we're right here. There's so many things that's going on. In a do-or-die game, Pereira and Parks continue.
Yeah, Parks hit the ground.
Yep, he did.
Came back up. And
that's the first time in a long time that he pulls up for a jumper instead of driving it.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, nice move by Jarek Tang.
Oh,
foul? Looked like
Parks. A good part of basketball, but maybe somebody in there too that the referee saw.
Okay, we'll review that in a bit. Let's look at a Great Taste White Grade 3 first. Our coffee is white. Great Taste White. This is Kevin Perev. Let's go to Cristel Bachelor real quick before we go to a replay.
Blumenkerk, instead of scolding the Tigers, Coach De Lorenzo's approach to them was more like a concerned father, which I heard it through his gentle tone. He even calmly asked Kareem Abdul what seemed to be the problem because he was not contributing that outstandingly in the first half. And for the remaining quarters, Coach Vidor pleaded for Abdul to loosen up a bit and avoid unnecessary fouls, more so for him to do his part. Sabi nga ni Coach, malaki ang lamang ng Tigers sa ina, bagamat ganun ang laro ni Abdul. Ano pa raw kaya kung higising siya at ibalik ang kanyang tunay na gana sa laro? As for the team, Coach wants them to improve their decision-making and stay composed. Bawi sa second half, dagdag pa ni Coach Blumenkerk.
Salamat, Cristel. The superlative, Samson Atib. Book 9 Live, it's PC Redefined. Remember, 4 personal fouls for Kareem Abdul. 41-37. A weave play to Parks. Rodney is in. Villamor thought about the 3. That's great recovery by UST. Nakakita sila ng butas sa loob.
Nice veteran play by Villamor to take his time. He tried to make a move on his own, wasn't there, but he still created enough for his teammate.
And you know, UST played so well in terms of their rotations on defense in that play. Mariano lets it fly. Has not found the range from the outside at least. Villamor, baseline drive, goes to Rosario. Rosario, it's an offensive foul.
He had some open teammates behind him, trying to force a little bit too much that time.
Let's look at a PS Bank Bahasa, an assist. Simple lang mag-ipon sa PS Bank, open a savings account now. This was the one finding Rosario underneath. And then, let's look at a McDonald's hits in slow-mo. Spice up your day with the new McSpicy. And that's the offensive foul of Rosario, whose minutes have really gone down this year because of Coach Eric Altamirano's choice to play smaller ball. Advanced pass to Villamor. It is Embe ending up with a rack attack. And we are tied once again at 41. That is our 6th deadlock of the game. NU is shooting 5 out of 9 from the field. UST is 3 out of 8. NU, though, Kirk has 5 turnovers here in this quarter as Jarek Teng makes it look so easy on the turnaround.
Yep. Rono hit the ground like a lot of National University players have been. But nice composure by Jarek Teng to just keep focused on the rim and knock it down.
That's a veteran for you. Inside, tough shot by Villamor. He finds it. Tied again at 43. Looks like this is going to be the theme.
Oh, there's sort of a flop back. Both teams are flopping now. Trying to get every advantage they can get.
Teng draws the double team. Sheriff from 16 knocks it down. Big bonus points for UST. And he breaks the tie. It is 45-43. Join the break movement. Have a break. Have a Kit Kat. Mitsubishi G4 G-Tastic, or G-Tastic, the all-new Mitsubishi Mirage G4. Get the G-Life. Brings you a rack attack from Sean Embe. Then celebrate great times with Yellow Cab Delivery Hotline. 789-9999. Great times, great pizza. Jarek Teng with the move. Dennis Villamor follows and counters for a Fubu Fearless shot for Asbayas. Fubu International, which brings us to 45-43 after the John Sheriff jumper. Villamor 3 for 3. Line drive, doesn't work. Namumuna si Mariano sa kabila. Mariano chased by 2 NU players. A couple of fakes, no. And Embe able to get it up and get up the rebound.
Nice hustle to get back by Embe. He knows every possession's important. His teammates also hustled back, stopped the layup, and he's there to clean up the rebound.
Inside. And Lau takes the ball away. Teng against Ronyo. Teng to Mariano. Kick it out. Ferrer for another 3. No.
And Ferrer hit the ground on that 3-point too, so.
Ronyo, what? A move.
And he'll get the call. Nice take.
This guy's gutsy. There's no question about it.
Yeah. Senior.
Yep.
He doesn't want to go home yet. He wants to keep his UAP playing days alive.
Paulo Pe will march back in. For Kent Lau, this is the alternate guys for Karim Abdul, as Tata Bautista will also check into the ball game. Ronyo missed 2 free throws earlier. Let's see how he does here. 45-43. It's a noisy crowd here at the arena. Oh boy, even during the timeouts, Kirk, the battle raging on between the 2 crowds. So entertaining.
The drums are loud and noisy, but their greatest use is just their voices. These fans are up on their feet with plenty to shout about.
Show by Embe. Underneath. Mariano draws the foul. Yes, he does. And it is Villamor. Third personal. 45-44. This is the move. That's the bump.
Mariano makes the first one. He's just a solid guy. He just takes advantage of his size down lows. Nice. He's taken to the basket several times today.
These are the national champs, Kurt. These are the PCCL champions talking about UST.
They sure are. They have a lot of confidence, and there's reason for it.
A lot of people think they're coming together at the right time this year. They struggled in the first round, midway especially. Obviously, the injury to Jarek Teng was big.
The last time that they won the finals in 2006, going back to that story, they were a lower seed too. They just, Coach Spideau got them playing the right way at the right time.
Villamor for 3. Overshoots it this time. Sheriff tracks it down. Nagmamadali. Ferrer, top of the circle, gets it to go! That is his second field goal. Second triple. The players on the floor brought to you by Haynes America's Leading Underwear brand. Mariano with an emphatic rebound. The lead is 6 for UST.
UST feeling awful good about themselves. Ferrer nodding his head like a rock star after he knocked that last three down.
Tapped away. UST will maintain possession. They're doing this without Jarek Tang and Karim Abdul on the floor. Here comes Ferrer. A lot of time to shoot. Fubu fearless shot for us, by us, Fubu International. And then, of course, the reaction after. Two more player of the game brought to you by Rexona. Won't let you down. Missed attempt by UST. You know, Karim Abdul has been counted by fouls. Remember, Kirk, 12 minutes only on the floor, right?
Yeah.
Paulo Pe, when he's on the floor, if you're one of those guys who are
I know what stat you're bringing up. I believe in it.
the plus-minus guy.
Yeah, that's big.
UST is plus 14 with Paulo Pe on the court.
There's so many things involved in basketball that you don't see on a stat sheet.
Yes.
He does a lot of those hustle points, rebounds, sets picks.
We're down to 10 seconds here in the quarter. Ferrer, like a gazelle. It stays with UST with 3.8. They're going to put Jarek Tang back on the floor for another offensive option. They're going to bring out Sheriff. Talking about UST, they have a 3-point lead with 3.8 seconds remaining in the third quarter of Sudden Death Saturday. Ferrer and Mariano nodding at each other, but Jarek Tang is there. They go out to Bautista. Bautista. That's a traveling infraction. That's a shot call. So 2.5 remaining. It will be NU that will have the last say here. The whole Tang family is standing up right now. It's only the third quarter. The end of the third quarter. Alolino finds Rosario. Rosario drives, puts it up, and in! They will look at that.
Good find. It will be reviewable. Hard to tell from this angle.
The UST fans are all calling travel. The NU fans are saying counted. The referees will go to our monitors and look at the play. Oh, the release with .2.
Nice shot. We'll see what kind of momentum NU can build on that heading into the last 10 minutes.
So, at the end of 30 minutes of Do or Die Saturday, it is a whisker of a point. That is the difference. A solitary point. Our Jollibee champ of the quarter. Big Burger goodness like no other. Jarek Tang, 6 of his 15 points in the third. Back in a moment. Babalik po tayo dito sa Mall of Asia Arena where we are close to 18,000 strong on a Saturday afternoon. 17,828 witnessing a game that may end in an epic way. 50-49 is the score. 7 deadlock, 6 lead changes. And Jarek Tang fails on the turnaround. 10 more minutes for us here on ABS-CBN Sports. Kirk, your thoughts on the third quarter or the game so far in general?
Yeah, third quarter was big. I think both teams found a lot of momentum offensively, as we see NU with a nice basket there. But I think what both coaches probably talked about during the quarter break was just their defensive mentality. That's how they're going to win these last 10 minutes. Both teams did great things offensively in the third quarter, so I think they just want to make those defensive adjustments here to end the game.
We just witnessed our 7th and 8th lead change of the game back-to-back. So it's UST back up on top, 52-51. Let's go to Trisha Robredo quickly. Trisha?
Toughness and trust. These are the two words that Coach E wants the boys to keep in mind coming into the last quarter. First, he wants to see more aggression and intensity from the boys. Sabi niya nga, ang kaya namang ipaglaban na at huwag sayangin. Dagdag niya, wala na dapat arte-arte. Pisikalan ng laro, kaya tapangan nyo na. Secondly, Coach E asks the boys to stick with the game plan. You will make your shots, you will make your threes, if you learn how to be more patient. Aside from having faith in the system, have faith in yourself and have faith in your teammates. This is our time and let's give it all we got. You have 10 more minutes away from making history. Back to you, Blumenberg.
Thank you, Trisha. B Superlative, Samsung at Book 9 Light. It's PC Redefined. Just jumping on her report and remembering TJ Manotok's interview with Eric Altamirano. Eric Altamirano just said, if it gets physical, don't retaliate. You know, play your game.
Yeah, you can't retaliate. You can't let it change your mindset. There's a game plan, there's execution. You just got to keep telling yourself just to follow those rules, just to follow that game plan, because that's how you're going to get a win.
9 lead changes in the game. No Embe, no Abdul. All in foul trouble. Embe has 3, Abdul has 4. Villamor with a 3. In and out. The tap. And it will go to UST. Let's look at this setup job by Ray Parks underneath to Rosario. Perfect combination. Brought to you by Pure Foods Tender Juicy Chicken Cheese Hot Dog. NU is 4-0 this season with Rosario scores at least 5 points. He now has 6. NU, by the way, has not won a game this season, Kirk, when they come into the 4th, not leading. For those who like these angles.
Interesting stat.
Pure Foods, no hassle play. Pure Foods, crisp and juicy wingers. No bones, no hassle. They also have not won a game where they trailed at halftime, but we were tied. Paolo Pe doing the little things. Sets up Bautista for another 3. No. Dakiwan? No. Ronyo? Ibinato sa coaching staff.
Looked like it was half.
Was it?
Stay with NU, I believe.
Okay.
But NU playing great defense, and you can't give USC that many possessions, but somehow they get lucky there. 2 wide open threes for Bautista, misses. But you like the energy that NU still recovering, trying to get those loose balls. And Paolo Pe going back to him, nice rebound.
And here's a gamble now. Paolo Pe, who survived almost 2 full quarters with 4 personal fouls for doing everything that he's doing, will now go to the bench. And Abdul, with 4 fouls, comes in. And you know why Embe is back in there? To try to draw the 5th.
Yep.
To try to draw the 5th, rather.
Yep.
Avelona is also in for Jello Alolino, who's checking his jaw right now. It has been a battle, literally, for these 2 teams. Sparks sets up Avelona for 3. Oh, he gets that one to go. And this is the biggest lead for NU at 4. Bautista tries to get it back. No. Deng puts it off the glass on a quick release.
What a battle, just going back and forth. Both teams trying to flex their muscles right now to get somewhat of an advantage as we close in on 7 minutes left in the game.
Well, the 18,000 that are watching here right now, Kirk, are getting everything worth the price of admission of a ticket here at the Mall of Asia Arena. Napulot pa!
Just when UST gets about to go their way, they miss the layup. And we still have a 2-point game.
Okay, let's check in with Crystal Batchelor.
Now that this game is inching to an end, the hunger of the Growling Tigers to win is stronger than ever. And while the pressure to prolong their stint in the UAAP is overwhelming, they said they are getting their strength from the UST community support that has been supporting them since the start of this season. Narinig ko nga sa boses ni Jeric Teng noong huddle kung gaano katindi ang kanyang higil na maipanalo ang larong ito. Sigaw niya, mga pare, please, last 10 minutes, we got this. Coach Pedro Horencio, on the other hand, did not fall short in boosting the moral of the Tigers by saying they can win this as long as they work as a team. Bawal nga raw mag-solo dito. Manalo o matalo, ito sila kubunan na hindi basta-basta papatao. Blumenberg.
Thank you very much. Turnover for UST here. The superlative Samsung at them. Book 9 Light, it's PC Redefined. UST gets the rebound. Well, Jeric Teng talking about him. 17 points. Ferrer for 3. And is fouled by Avelona on the 3-point attempt.
Avelona doesn't like the call as he runs back to the bench, but you got to be careful. You can't touch those three-point shooters when they go up for their shot.
That's Avellona, by the way, who knocked down the Great Taste White, Grade 3, or Coffee's White, Great Taste White. Ferrer, 11 points. As we look at this Yellow Cab big move. Delivery hotline, celebrate great times with Yellow Cab delivery hotline 789-9999. Great times, great pizza. Ooh, the tension is so thick here.
It is.
It is. You can feel it. And we got 6:25 remaining in this sudden death Saturday match. The winner proceeds to the finals. The loser ends season 76 campaign. 2 out of 2 for Ferrer. He has one more to give us our 10th lead change of the game if it goes in. And it does.
Cool, calm, and collective. Free throw points so important in the game of basketball, especially in close games.
Ooh, it didn't look like Avellona hit anything.
It didn't. So when you talk about flops, I don't think either team can talk to each other about them.
Both of them are guilty.
Both of them are guilty.
Ronyo for 3, gets it to go!
And then Ronyo asks for the touch. Man, it's a touchy game.
59-57 on 11. Lead changes. Both teams really giving each other everything they've got here.
They clear out the side for Tang as he likes the matchup against the smaller guard.
He bullies his way through. He doesn't want this to be his last game. 19 points on 7 of 13 shooting for Jarek Tang. What a battle. 8 deadlocks. Embe, Comontin underneath. Avellona, 5 to shoot. Avellona turns around, double team on him. Avellona. Embe. Abdul.
The ball's loose.
Who will get it? And a foul will be called? No, a jump.
Looks like a jump ball.
And National U will get the possession arrow. Let's look at this Master winning move. Lose the oil, win the game with Master. Put your game face on. Nerves of steel for Robin Ronyo. And all, of course, this guy with a shake of the game brought to you by Mogu Mogu. You gotta chew.
Such crafty footwork for Tang down there in the post. He knows where he wants to go with it. He's comfortable shooting it off the glass.
And that is really the facet of the game that he has brought this year and towards the end of last year, that low post move of his. That's what he added as Ronyo and Tang continue to battle against each other. No one backing down. The referees, it's like a dance.
It is. There's somewhat of an art to it.
Oh, look at that.
Oh! There's a little bit too much elbow, though, right in front of the referee. Tang.
That may have not been a smart move because it was right in front of the referee, and it's at a crucial time. Let's look at that. Jello Alolino. Derek Tang complaining. Then pushing, more pushing. Oh,
yeah, just had enough. Enough is enough.
Makes space for himself in our McDonald's instant slow-mo. Spice up your day with a new McSpicy. But no free throws anyway, so we play on. 5-10. Parks is asking for it against Kiblo. Alolino says there's a lot of time. 10 seconds to be exact. Ronyo will shoot the 3 again. The tap goes to Alolino. Embe underneath. Babied it. He babied the shot, Kurt.
He did. And that's when you want to take it in strong. Abdul has 4 fouls. Take it into his body. Try to get closer.
Speaking of Abdul, he's been begging for the ball. Ferrer against Sparks. Tang again asking for it down low.
That's the matchup. We'll see if NU sends any help.
Not that time for Jarek Tang. So we're still at 59 all. Alolino fakes the pass. The bang in the bucket for the former youth player for the national team.
That time just not waiting for UST's defense to set up. Coast to coast, realizes no one's in front of me. Just Sheriff, I'm taking it to the hole. Nice take and the finish with the foul.
I wish he our moment of the game opened up to everyday surprises. He faked the pass first.
Yeah, just a nice little side step. No shot blocker under the basket. Perfect time to attack.
Who is going to blink first between these two teams? 4:25. The miss by Alolino to make it an even 2-point lead. 5-on-4 on this end of the court. Ferrer backs up for three. Gets it to go. For him, that is his third triple. 17 points by Ferrer.
He has all the confidence in the world right now.
Oh, and a turnover. Mariano has a foul before the ball went out. It is on Ronyo.
Not a time to turn the ball over with 4 minutes left. Parks found himself in a tough position.
4:05. Cold-blooded three. The Yakisobrang move brought to you by Nissan Yakisoba. Yakisobrang sarap. 2 more play of the game. Brought to you by Rexona. Won't let you down.
I believe Ferrer is the only player that's hit a 3-point shot today for UST. So
Oh, Abdul gets away.
there's some experience right there.
Oh, he's
Abdul sneaky, nice little pump fake, gets Mbe up on his feet.
he's fresh too. He's had a lot of time on the bench, Kurt.
Had a lot of rest. Now UST back up by 3.
The 2-time MVP draws the foul. Ferrer, 17 points. Let's look at this move by Abdul. The fake, he sold it. He drives by, blows by. And a McDonald's hits in slow-mo. Spice up your day with the new McSpicy. Bautista had a 3 earlier, but
That's
other
right.
than that, Kurt, it was all Kevin Ferrer. So both Teng and Ferrer scoring heavily for UST. 19 for Teng, 17 for Ferrer. Alunino wild on that shot. 3:25 to play. 3-point lead for last year's first runner-up. It is Ferrer now who wants to take advantage of the height advantage over Ronyo. Not that time. Villamor swings it to Ronyo for a 3. And Abdul is racking up the rebounds this time. Okay. Some players are breathing heavily right now, Kurt.
Yes, they are. Some of it's the pressure, some of it's fatigue, because they're just giving every ounce. On that last possession, though, I'd almost like to see MU take their time a little bit more and see what can develop.
A foul as Kim Lo was operating inside. 2:46 to play. No free throws will be given. Jello Alunino could be our Appleton Most Improved Player this season, so watch out at the end of the season when we dish out that award. But right now, the players who are breathing heavily are gutting it out for a place in the finals. 64-61. Crucial turnover. Parks to Villamor, unable to contain the pass. Balik ang UST. Sheriff tries to go all the way and draws the foul from Jello Alunino.
You got to be able to capitalize. You get a turnover on one end, there's still plenty of time to set up your offense if nothing's there.
Kada Koda, the game loyalty is key. Kada bonding chippy. Yeah, that might not have been a smart pass by Parks to Villamor, who was out of position earlier.
Yeah, their last 2, they don't have to rush anything. They're down 3 with over 2 minutes left. Plenty of time to still let your offense work. Make the defense work. See what can come available if you just give it some time.
A 60% shooter from that area. This is the guy who's now locked in heavy minutes in the last 4 games of UST. And this is a 5-point lead, which is a luxury at this point. Listen to this crowd here at the Mall of Asia Arena. Mall of Asia Arena. Some celebrating, some saying prayers. Right now, the USC crowd is happy because they're up by 5. As we look at David Joseph Di Mapaso, 8th seed surprise winner. 8's America's leading underwear brand. You could have said that better than I did, Kurt. You know, interesting here for NU, Kurt. Parks has not attempted a shot here in the fourth quarter.
And that's not good. Part of that's maybe point guard recognition. There it is. In and out. His first three of the day. Wow.
And a foul called on Alolino.
And you're right, that will be a penalty.
Fourth personal. More importantly, free throws will be given.
If you're in you though, you just gotta stay composed.
Yeah, it's a lot of time.
A lot of time. You can't be giving up fouls like that 90 feet away from the basket. You gotta make them earn it.
Ferrer.
Embe shouting out to Alolino. Get on the line. Still plenty of time. We got to get in our spots.
9 out of 10. Make that 9 out of 11. And you will get this ball automatically because Mariano stepped into the lane.
It's sort of their own little tactic, isn't it? They just step in there early, hoping the other team does too.
Here we go. Buckle up as we get into gut check time. Brought to you by PS Bank. Last 2 minutes. Simple lang mag-ipon sa PS Bank. Open a savings account now. Abdul with a rebound. They're doing this without Jarek Ten, by the way, and another foul given up.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. He didn't even cross half court yet. Why are you fouling?
And that is his that's his fourth personal foul.
It's a 6-point game. That's a 2-possession ball game. You don't have to foul. You just have to focus on getting stops if you're in you.
That was a strange foul indeed. And you getting lucky here as UST missing a couple of free throws. Coach Bidon telling Sheriff to relax. Look at that. A prayer. Begging for focus. Praying for focus. The girl. Short. Parks. Alolino. Abdul trying to come back on defense.
Smart pull-out. No need to force anything.
2-possession game. A minute and 36. Parks gets away. Parks finds a way. No! Everything but the shot.
Right at the basket.
And Ray Parks looks like he's in pain. He's not walking right now. And he looked at the bench actually.
It might be cramps. He's holding both legs.
Be, yep.
It's been a long day for him.
Ferrer for the pull-up 3.
That would have been the dagger. Wow.
Oh! Nobody taking the ball!
And Sheriff plays it in. Jumps up against Mariano, and he's pumped, and so is this UST crowd as they're trying to seal their last spot in the finals.
Parks turned his back because he cannot anymore. He's as NU is in a meltdown right now. 20 turnovers for National U. And Parks is holding on to his legs, and it's obviously cramps. And they're going to take him out with 53 seconds to play. This is still a lot of time for, as you know, firsthand. But right now, momentum is obviously with UST.
What I was going to say. A lot of time, but there's a whole lot of momentum around this UST team right now. As they're getting loose balls, they're getting rebounds.
If you're Ray Parks, you're not even part of the 5 on the floor right now. That's got to hurt.
Yeah.
Well, he's hurting physically for sure, but more than that, he's got to be frustrating. But UST doing the right things here. Those 2 fouls, there were a couple of fouls there, Kurt, that were a little strange that gave free throws to UST.
Yeah, it was almost like they had.
I guess the turnover earlier, where Parks had his back turned, Alolino giving it up, and Sheriff obliges, gives them an 8-point lead here, 69-61.
Easiest 2-point Sheriff has ever had in the UAP. He'll take it. And that, what a huge moment to give them what was an 8-point lead, now 9.
40 seconds remaining. 40 seconds it was UST's waiting for to get into the finals. Villamor. Now, if you're NU, what do? Do you foul, Kurt?
You might need to foul now. They've been missing some anyway. So you sort of just got to put the hope in UST's free throw ability, hope they miss some, and you can make something quick happen on the offensive end.
Lucky Me Supreme moment brought to you by Lucky Me Supreme, Live Supreme. What a story for this kid. Sheriff who found his place, found his spot in the latter part of UAP season 76, and now Mariano looking to put the finishing touches on this game that is, if they win this, Kirk, this is history. There is no number 4 seed that has beaten the number 1 seed since the final format was instituted in 1994. That's the 3 with 16.9.
Still a 2-possession game.
Yes.
And you have to get a steal here.
Or a foul real quick.
Just to stop the clock. Now they can't see much time go. They still at least a 2-possession game for them. As Park still looks helpless over there on the sideline, just shaking his head.
Sorry, Kirk. And by the way, Jarek Tang has played minimal minutes here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, Coach Kudos liked his unit out there. They played well here, and Jarek still gave them 20 today. 19 points, 5 rebounds.
How about that kid earlier? Fouled a pick. 16.1 seconds. There's a celebration at the bench of UST, but this is not a done deal yet.
Even the coaches look like they're having more fun than anyone.
We'll take a break in the meantime. Arencho is crying on the bench right now. They're 16 seconds away from history, and a turnover by National U is definitely going to aid the cause of the Growling Tigers. Coach Pido, if he does this, and Sam, 16 seconds away, he does it twice. Yeah. As a lower seed, but nobody in the UAP as a 4th seed has gotten into the finals.
Yeah, there's been a lot of ups and downs for this team, UST this year. After last season's nice run to the finals, and you know, Coach Pido coaches with his heart more than anything.
And that is the wish of Derek Tang. He says he wants to face his brother in the finals, and if that happens, I don't remember any other brother combination going up against each other in the finals. That might be a first. We will check that and make it official. But Jarek, during his interview with TJ Manotok, says that was his motivation. He wants a Tang to take home the championship trophy. I'm sure he wants it for himself. I'm sure he'll say, "Oh, you know, Gerald, you got a couple of more years in the UAP."
He wants to admire a championship ring or a medal in his own room.
Four,
Not his brothers.
yes. Number 4 seeds have forced a do-or-die match before, but never won the Final Four. And UST will do it. What happened in the fourth? Before we get crazy here at the end, Kirk, what happened? What swung it for UST?
I mean, just them executing on offense. They got a number of guys involved. Now we see Embe
and Abdul right now having a moment in the
coaches.
middle. That's a great sporting gesture by Abdul and Embe. And Eric Altamirano and Pido Arencio, also now the coaching staff. And this is obviously the final score is the only one not settled. The Embe and Abdul are still at it. They're, I mean, in a good way, of course.
Just appreciation for each other. They both respect how hard each other play. We know they play hard.
Competition.
Yeah, they battle, and Mariano will dribble it out as UST
And UST
goes back to the finals.
writes history. They upend the number 1 seed, and they go into the finals. DLSU awaits them. What an achievement by Coach Pido Arencio. Congratulations to UST, the winning team Bonchon of the game. Powered by Bonchon, Chicken Team Bonchon for the win. They're back in the finals. They feel like they have unfinished business from last year, Kirk. And they're there, maybe a different opponent, but it's the same goal.
Yeah, they might be the number 4 seed, but man, they played like they were king of the hill today.
This was big. An RCBC Savings Bank life-changing move, our turning point. RCBC Savings Bank's My Loans, it's life-changing. Kevin Ferrer with that big 3. And for Ferrer, that was his third. Well, he's got 18 points across his name, so big, big shot. It is a 7-point win in front of an 18,000 crowd for Sudden Death Saturday. We're back here at the Mall of Asia Arena. 7-point win for UST. 76-69 is our final score. And UST does it. They win twice against the number 1 seeded team, National U. And they go straight into the finals. And a lot of people wishing the Teng versus Teng matchup. They'll get that, but there's more than just that in the finals, Kirk.
Oh yeah, it's going to be exciting to see the brothers face off. But yeah, LaSalle, UST, 2 deep teams, passionate teams, play hard, and it's going to be an all-out war, all-out battle.
Well, those are our thoughts. Let's get the thoughts of the winning coach today, Coach Pido Arencio, with us from the press room. Coach, unang-una, congratulations, maraming salamat. At binigyan nyo kami ng panahon dito. Alam natin na medyo emotional tong moment na to. 16 seconds, may timeout pa ang National U. Medyo nakita ka namin right across from where we were. Coach, you were already emotional, you were already in tears. Please describe that moment for us.
Hirap, speechless ako ngayon. Ano kasi, no? Hindi ko akalain na abot kami ng finals. And then, syempre maraming taong nagdududa sa kakayanan ko.
Sige, Coach, mabalikan ka namin. But we understand it is a very emotional moment. Let's talk to Kevin Ferrer. Medyo mabigat yung laro mo kanina, Kevin. Lalo na sa bandang dulo, may mga malalaking stress na naipukul ka. That medyo nag-swing yung momentum para sa inyo, no? Ikumpara mo sa amin itong laban na to, kumpara dun sa unang laban nyo ng National University, Kevin.
Yung first game, sobrang aggressive kami. And then, this game, parang relax kami. Pero, yung crowd ulit yung nagpa-hyper sa amin. Yun, parang, basta, lahat ng tinira ko, sinasabi ko, shoot. Ayun lang.
Kurt, may tanong ka ba? Do you have a question for Kevin?
Yeah, Kevin, you've made just as many three-pointers almost the last 2 games as your whole, first and second round. Is there just a mental thing that happened, or just a change in practicing, or any certain words from your coach that just you know, got you to shooting the way you have been the last 2 games?
Yung second to the last game before this game, sobrang nag-training ako sa shooting kasi sinasagan na ako ng mga kalaban kasi na-struggle ako sa 3 points. So, win-workout namin ng mga coach ko itong 3 points. Ayun, lumabas yung result.
Congratulations, Kevin. Coach Pido, one last question. Kung maaari lang. Wala na si Coach Pido. Okay, sige. Well, anyway, congratulations to Coach Pido, to Kevin Ferrer, and the rest of the UST Growling Tigers, and the celebration happening here at the Mall of Asia Arena. They go to the finals against CLSU on Wednesday. We'll take a break, and then we will wrap this baby up. Babalik po tayo dito sa Mall of Asia Arena. If you missed it, well, it's a 76-69 win for the Growling Tigers, who march into the championship round against DLSU Green Archers. That happens on Wednesday. Some post-game awards first before we officially wrap it up. Jollibee champ of the game, Big Burger, goodness like no other. Got to be tough to choose between Ferrer and Teng. Teng was solid too.
Yeah, they were both solid, Teng and Ferrer. Jarek just battling in the post, doing it outside, making things happen on fast break. Just so vital in this UST offense. Just gives him the confidence from the beginning. You know, any shot he takes on the floor isn't a bad shot, just because he can knock it down wherever he is. And just a senior moment for him today. He's happy that his UAP career will last another week, and he'll get another trip back to the finals.
7 out of 13 from the field, and 19 points for Jarek Teng, who has this hashtag going, not today, not today. He didn't want today to be the last day. He's been saying that over and over again, and, well, he gets his wish. In the meantime, PS Bank maasahan player of the game. Simple lang mag-ipon sa PS Bank. Open a savings account now. So let's be fair. We have one for Jarek Teng, we have one for Kevin Ferrer.
Yeah, it's nice. You have to have 2 awards, because both these guys deserved one today. They both played with a lot of heart. They gave it on both ends. Kevin, you know, making it happen on defense, stopping the MVP of the league in some ways, or at least slowing him down and knocking down just huge 3 after huge 3. Whenever NU made that push, maybe got a couple points ahead or tied it, there was Kevin with a big shot from beyond the arc.
Remember, in the 4th quarter, Ray Parks rarely touched the ball when he was scoring so much, so well. Actually, he had 15 points. And then the 4th quarter, when they put Kevin Ferrer on him, as we give you our updates, Gatorade Fuel Duel of the game, definitely fueled for the win with Gatorade. That's when things got a little more difficult for Ray Parks in the 4th quarter, when they put Kevin Ferrer back on him, and you did make that point that we were going to see him again back on Parks.
Yeah, so credit to all of UST's defenders. That took some time, but Coach Pido really has that strategy, and it's a good one. He knows how to rest Kevin Ferrer for the big moments, and in those big moments when UST needed stops, Kevin was there, not allowing Parks to have the ball or just slowing him down. And with, you know, his defensive capability, you got to give a lot of credit to him for what he did out there on the court today.
All right, let's give you some more of the stuff that we show you at post-game. Like Avita on FaceTime, enjoying their Hit It Home online promo. Again, congratulations to Adamson, the hosts for this year, for that. The question here, was that the last time that we saw Ray Parks in a National U uniform in the UAP? Because there is a possibility that he won't come back. Of course, we will have to wait. I'm sure he did not like how this game ended, not only from a loss standpoint, but the fact that he wasn't even on the floor because of cramps. Dennis Villamor, Robin Ronyo, just some of the names that are... Jean Embe also played his last game for National University, and Mark de Guzman. National University, talk about them real quick, Kirk, and this campaign this year as a #1 seed.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to say Cy Young. It's an opportunity that you grab a #1 seed and you don't make it to the finals. That's just you just feel bad for them because they worked so hard the whole season, and then you face an experienced team like UST who's peaking at the right time. And you got to give credit to NU. They had a great season. They got some great things on that team. They've grown so much the last couple years. This is the game, though, they're going to look at to determine their season, and they're going to say, you know, we lost our chance.
Shades of 2006 for the UST Growling Tigers. They go to the finals, which start on Wednesday right away at the Araneta Coliseum. At 1 p.m. we will air the DLSU-NU game for the women's division, which will be played at 11 a.m. But we will air that on Studio 23 at 1 p.m. DLSU up in that series 1-0. And then at around 3 p.m., 3:30, the men's seniors finals game number 1. It's going to be a doozy. UST and DLSU. Your thoughts on that, Kurt?
Oh, just you got the brothers, but then they're just dynamic teams. They're teams that can do it on both ends. They got size. They got quick guards that can make some plays with Revilla and Vosotros. And you got a UST team today who's hungry to be back in the finals, and they want to close it out the right way this time after being ousted out in the finals last year. So an exciting matchup.
Jeron Teng, his first time in the finals in the UAP. Jeric Teng will go back to the finals. They're the national champs, the defending national champs. Last year they bowed to Ateneo, but they don't want that to happen this year. It will be an epic finals, and the Araneta is going to be packed for sure on Wednesday. Kurt, we hope to see you there, and it's great to have you back.
It's good to be here. Have your seatbelts on. Finals is coming up.
All right. For Kurt Long, Trisha Robredo did a great job all year for National U. Cristel Batchelor, Direct Abed Ramos, everybody behind the truck for ABS-CBN Sports. I'm Boog Gonzalez saying so long from the Mall of Asia Arena. We'll see you Wednesday for more of the UAP as we continue to broadcast in high definition.
UAAP Season 76. Greatness never ends.
Has been a special presentation of ABS-CBN Sports.